So I found out recently it's unlawful, but not illegal. Throwback to standard Taebyn joke. To laugh out loud in Hawaii. You know, you have to keep it to a low ha.
We told this joke 2 seasons ago.
I know. You know the person who invented the Ferris wheel never met the person that invented the carousel because they traveled in different circles.
Oh god.
And do you know what you call an overweight psychic?
A large medium?
No. It's a four-chin teller.
Oh god. That's a good one.
And I also read recently that some archaeologists just unsealed a fart that was frozen from a caveman. It was a blast from the past.
Oh yeah.
Oh, alrighty then. Let's have enough of this frivolous nonsense and get to the regular nonsense. Well, hello, greetings, and Moobarkfluff to all the creatures in the Potiverse. I am Barely, and this, of course, is barely featuring Furcasting Taebyn. That show that asked the question, where did the sanity go?
I think
No idea.
Exemplified
Out
that
the
right
window?
there, Barry.
Sanity clause doesn't come back for another 12 months.
12 months,
No,
that's when the
it's-
sanity clause
yeah,
comes
true.
back. All right. Well, Rayne, Cheetaro, TickTock are all here again. How are all you guys?
Fair to middling.
Fair
Yeah,
Midland?
Midland, little bit.
Doing well. Still a little tired after ANW, but
Yeah.
All
doing okay.
right.
Yeah,
All right.
little
Well,
con
that's-
credit, but good.
All right. And of course, the show would not be the show without the Taebyn casting that we're doing. Taebyn, how the fluff are you?
I am being cast.
Yes.
Somehow. No, I'm good. I'm just like everyfur saying, pretty busy and everything. But here we are, and that's exciting to be together again
Mm-hmm.
for this evening. I do have to say, time for Jesse for a walk. How you should do about English. And I was thinking that maybe we need to rename this show BFFTES for Barely Furcasting, featuring the entire staff.
Yeah.
Well,
Biggie's
I
not
guess
here.
maybe right now it should be BFFTESMZ for Barely Furcasting, featuring the entire staff minus Ziggy, and
Right.
then we'll get him on the show, and then it can be the entire staff. So
Right.
Well,
Um,
yes. But if we do that, and then if somebody leaves or when somebody else comes on, we'll have to change the initials again. And that would be
once
confusing.
again, yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
That's too
Signage
much,
costs are
Yeah.
too much
tough.
bureaucracy or
Let's
whatever.
just leave
that
it the
word
way it is. It's just too much work.
It's
Sure.
too much work.
We got to go
Sure.
through all making new stickers and making new graphics and all of that stuff.
Or we could just put featuring Taebyn et al.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
In little tiny text at the bottom.
A little tiny
et al.
text et al.
Or
et al.
actually, I mean,
maybe at Weird Al.
Mm.
instead of the
Ah.
T standing for Taebyn and BFFT, it can just stand for the entire staff.
That's right.
Total.
There you go. And of course, I have to say, of course, we'll mention this later in the show, but just so before everyfur turns off and realizes I don't want to be listening to that. So before you do that, plug for Get Out the Float, Seaside, Oregon, February 6th through 9. It's coming up in just a few short words here, but you can still register. We have a ton. We talked about this before. We have like a ton of panel applications and everything.
Mhm.
Just yesterday, we got 2 more in. It's like we are going to
Good.
have more panels than actual attendees.
Let's you just go from panel room to panel room. The whole group just goes next one.
That's what we do.
Or you don't even have to go to the other room. You just bring up the next presenter.
Just
Next
to bring-
presenter, come up. You know. So.
That's pretty
Maybe
much
we
all
need
we're
one
gonna
of those
do.
things like Disneyland and have where you sit in the audience and the audience rotates around stages.
Around the.
There you go.
That's actually a really good idea. I'll tell Bath about that. I'm sure he'll like it. So yes, all you first should be really, we've got a lot of good panels. It's a lot of fun time. It's a smaller con, so you're seeing all the people you want to see are right there. You don't have to go anywhere. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it should be a good time. And the last thing I have to ask is, what did Tennessee?
I don't know. What did Tennessee?
Arkansas.
The same thing that Arkansas. Yes.
Ah. Well, let's get right into your guys' recap of Anthro Northwest.
Okay.
Okay. So Taebyn should probably start first. He had a lot of firsts at the con.
I
A lot
have
of
a
firsts.
lot. Like
Oh my gosh, so many firsts. Like
Oh.
5 or 6 firsts.
Oh, right. In the I did. Forgot about that.
It was a very productive con for the pup.
It was. Well, okay, so let me just go through, I guess, my recap because I have a bunch of things to say, and then we'll just go from there. Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So yes, this was I was, well, like I am every ANW, very 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 busy, but this was a really great ANW year, I think. Lots of fun, more attendance, and I'll talk about that at the end of my recap here. So Thursday we arrived. There was Munchkin's Traveling Circus, which was just a bunch of variety acts, but I co-emceed that. I also did my quote-unquote award-winning act from last year's Vancouver Cutie Pageant talent show. I did in the Traveling Circus, so that was fun and nice. And Friday was like the biggest day for me.
Oh, wait, I thought you were talking about Friday, our friend Friday, not Friday the day Friday.
No, the day
You got
Friday.
me confused, pup.
I'm very confused. Yeah, and then Friday came along and said, "What's with the scroll?" No,
Mhm.
Friday I did my Taebyn Sings Weird Al. I had 4 new songs in the rotation that I hadn't done before. One of which I was really excited that I actually made it all the way through, so that was exciting. So all
Me
you
too,
first,
because we've worked so hard on that.
all you first come see if I actually make it through in the future cons that we're both at this year. I don't even know what that means. Then I participated in the quote unquote celebrity doodles for charity, raise some money for charity with my really, really horrible quote unquote artistry, which is not really. Then the Anthronorth National Film Festival, which of course I've talked about, that are organized and everything. It went really well. And for all you furs, everyone know I will soon update the website. That is at anthronw.com. Go to events tab and there's a link for film festival under that. I'm soon going to updating that website with all the winners and all the people that submitted things so that all the filmmakers can get credits and you can see all the videos and all that good stuff. Then later that night I had my story time with Taebyn where I read a few new ones, including Barbara's Rhubarb Bar that you probably remember from last time. So that was a big busy day running all over the world, apparently, is what I was going to say. Saturday, I emceed the dance comp, and I had some puns, and I got both claps and boos for my puns. So I didn't get quite booed off the stage, but so one particular pun I introduced with saying, so this was halfway through the show, through the dance comp, and I said, "Oh, so there was a news article item that I read the other day, which was very interesting. Would all of you like to hear about this news article?" And then, like the entire auditorium went, "No!" Like literally. And so then, of course, I said, "Well, that's great because I'm going to tell you anyway." And so I did.
And then
When
there was a
have you-
collective groan of,
When have
"Ah."
you ever listened to the audience, Taebyn? When?
I cannot answer that. That is a good question. So if any
I
of you
think about
furs
as
out
many
there-
times as he's listened to the producer of the show.
Or the co-producer,
Or the
the movie,
co-producer, or
the movie
staff,
G,
or-
or,
yeah,
or
yes,
any
anyways,
or the
yes.
entire staff
Yes.
basically. Then that night was the fursuit parade. Sunday I participated in the dance battle, the Pacific Rim dance battle.
Yes,
And
I got to
that
see video of
was-
it because I wasn't there. But
The
it
Pacific
did good.
Rim.
They call it the Pacific
Were
Rim
you
dance
dancing in
battle.
mechs, like in the movie Pacific Rim? And
No,
Yes,
because I
okay.
have no idea
Crickets.
what
No
that
idea what you're talking
is.
about.
Crickets.
I don't know what's happening, right?
good to know the crickets are still alive.
Yes.
So there was
We've been
that.
putting them in that little box this whole time. We
They
haven't
were a
fed them
good
anything.
music group.
They are no more, I guess, is all I have to say to that. So I have to give a shout out to Cody the Deer. So go to Cody the Deer's YouTube channel. He specializes in con coverage is what he is basically. But he filmed like the dance battle and the dance comps and the film festival and both my panels with like multiple, like he had like 6 cameras in one
Oh
of
my
these things.
gosh.
And for my
Oh, wow.
panels, he
Yeah,
had like
so many.
4 cameras and was running around. So he does a lot of this stuff. And in fact, he asked me to give him scans of every pages of the pages of my books so that in his video of my story time, he can actually put those up there. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what he does with that. So that'll be exciting. So anyway, all you first go make sure to check out Cody the Deer on YouTube. And in fact, just today, he posted his ANW convid already, which is he's like
Wow.
been a busy deer apparently.
Probably hasn't slept. He just got home and did that.
Right?
I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
did say he hasn't organized anything from the con yet, so I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
so
to be
the
fair, I just finally organized my box from BLFC.
okay, so yeah, okay, no, that is there, that does happen. I understand.
Yeah.
So, of course, some of you first might know that the charity for A&W is Sarvi Wildlife, who we've had on the show before. We had Catherine Grandy on season 1, episode
Gandy.
50. So, if any of you first wanted to hear us talk to Sarvi Wildlife about what they do, go back and listen to that. But just quick recap of what they do. They are a nonprofit organization dedicated to rescuing and rehabilitating wild animals in need with the goal of returning of returning them to their natural habitats and to foster greater appreciation of the uniqueness of each animal and the challenges they face. Anyway, there's that.
Okay.
And this year, A&W raised $18,436.76 for the charity. And A&W is definitely growing. So this is A&W 7. So 2 years ago, they had, in 2023, they had 2,152 attendees. Then the next year, so last year, they had 2,402 attendees. That's an 11.6% increase.
Mhm.
This year, attendance was 3,312, which is a 37.9% increase. So
Nice.
we're definitely growing. So it's pretty exciting. Lots of great stuff. I talked to a lot of furs at A&W this year. That this was their first fur con. So yeah, it's really doing a good stuff for the community. Anyway,
Good.
that's my big huge recap of A&W this year.
Okay.
What does any fur else have to say about A&W since we're here?
I had a good time hosting the red carpet and running around trying to get Pup's audio set up for everything Pup was doing.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much my entire con. It was running around setting up audio for Pup and then hosting the film festival, red carpet, and going dances with Taebyn on a couple nights.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good
Yay.
times. Good times.
My biggest moment still has to be the squeak and greet that happened
Oh yeah.
on Sunday, and we ended up with over 100 people coming to that.
Oh, very nice.
And
I wanted to go, but it was like just as I needed to be at the dance battle, so I couldn't do that.
yeah, I'm hoping that next year, because I've been told that I'm going to be in charge of it again next year. So hopefully we can put it to where it happens at a different time than that, so we have even more people, because that would be awesome. But at the same time, I did enjoy myself. I did volunteer and had lots of fun doing that. You know, for the most part, some of the room parties were kind of fun, I will say. But other than that, at least I didn't get sick. Let's just say
Yes.
that.
No,
So,
me either.
so as a shout out or whatever you want to call it to next year, could you tell us a little bit about what the Squeak and Greek was all about?
Oh, absolutely. So the Squeak and Greet is actually a inflatables meetup, so to speak. So there's people who bring their inflatables, and people can bounce on them and things like that in and a safe manner. And we basically just introduce ourselves to people, and of course, we did a lot of promotion for Get Out the Float.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, based on what I talked with Baff about, we now have over 100 people pre-registered for Get Out the
Nice.
Float.
Woo!
Overflow Hotel is
Yay!
open now.
Wait a minute. How many?
Over 100.
Oh,
We
I thought
did
you said
have
over. I thought you said over
Yeah,
300. I was going to say, wow.
wow.
Yeah, no.
yeah,
No.
Well, they
Well,
did
we're
open the
hoping.
Overflow Hotel, which is the original hotel that
yeah.
Get Out the Float used. But the
hmm
Overflow Hotel is now open because the main hotel is completely full.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So we're hoping still for about 300 people, so to speak, but it's hard to say because we are still about a month out.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is going to be fun. But again, the squeak and greet, like I said, it's just basically a meetup, and people can bring their inflatables there to display them, enjoy themselves. And we only had one small fatality,
Oh,
that one small fatality of a uh, inflatable kind of like bit it in the neck, so to speak.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but for the most part, it was a success. And for anybody that's out there that is going to be thinking about going to A&W next year, plan on coming to our squeak and greet. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since we're on the get out the float thing, I forgot to say before when I was talking about it that all you furs, it's not just a FurCon, it's also a big squeaky event. So just like Cheetaro was talking about all these inflatables and get out the float, because so for example, last year get out the float, there were so many inflatables. It was a big, like the whole entire, I can't even describe how many big, like there's a huge dinosaur and a T-Rex and big deer and big huskies and alligators, and just there were so many. I could not actually believe it. So if you are interested in squeakies or are interested in knowing more about squeakies, definitely come to Get Out the Float, because that's lots of that's going to be there.
Yeah,
Okay.
plus bouncy castles and
And
bouncy
bouncy
boats and
castles
things of
that
that
you
yeah.
can
nature.
actually go into and bounce around in. Yeah, it should be good times. TikTok, any notable things for you about A&W?
Oh, well, yeah, no, that was a very old good time. Had a great time seeing everybody. Got to haunt your story time panel a little,
You
as
did.
always. And I will a note on that. Taebyn got through Barbara's rhubarb bars
I
story
did. I didn't
very,
even
very
practice it.
well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
the
was
last time I had actually even looked at it was when I tried to do it on the show, and I actually got through it somehow. I don't
There
know
were a
how.
couple of giggle crack ups for a second, but he managed
There
to
were-
pull through them.
words. There were. Let's see, did a lot of suiting. It was able to break out my new Protogen suit as well, although
Miss
that was on
seeing
the
that.
last day and I was pretty spent from that. Fursuit Games was a lot of fun. It was a bit of a bloodbath. I think the of the musical chairs, I have a feeling they're going to start searching people for weapons in coming years.
I didn't
Okay.
hear
Fair
about
enough.
that.
Fair enough. Fair
Um,
enough. Yeah.
I mean,
Although I did
nobody
find
used
that
anybody, but I think it's going to like just continue escalating until like somebody's like shivving somebody else, or I don't know.
I did hear that one of my friends actually won the musical chair thing. So
Oh wow, cool! I made it to the top 5 or 6, and I was pretty proud of myself. Did the parade, did the photos, and just had a good old time.
Well, good.
Yay.
Good, good, good.
Okay.
All right. That then takes us up to some things that Taebyn doesn't understand. And one of the things I wanted to ask Taebyn is, you sing about the eye of the tiger all the time. Why do people always talk about the eye of the tiger? Don't the other letters count, Taebyn?
Apparently not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nope.
at
T,
least back in the
G, E, and
80s it
R
didn't. I
just
don't know.
don't they don't even rate amongst the
I
top letters in
know.
the song.
I mean, why not the G of the tiger? What's
Right.
that about? I mean, come on.
Well, that's a whole different. That's the G string of the tiger. That's an entirely different thing.
That's a whole different thing. Oh,
And not
okay.
every tiger
it's
wears
the
a G.
gangster tiger.
Well, I have some things I don't understand too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me
That
hear
was
you.
a thing Barely doesn't understand that he was asking Taebyn to try and
Yes.
explain when Taebyn doesn't
Oh,
understand a lot of other
but
things.
I can't understand it. And actually, I have two things that I previously didn't understand, but I do now understand. But I'll say them anyway, so that we can hear about what I did
Pup
not
can learn.
understand, and now what I do understand, because this is stupid, right? Right. Okay.
Right.
Have you heard our show?
That's a very
I think
good
it's in the
point. I
description that
have,
this
and
is
now I
stupid.
understand. So here's a riddle that I didn't understand, but now I do. A cat has 3 children named January, February, and March. What is the name of the cat?
I
Year,
don't know.
trimester. No.
The Dexter? No.
A?
The name of the cat is a cat. And I didn't understand that for a long time. And then just today, I
Yeah.
realized, oh, it says a cat has 3 children. Now I get it. I just,
Yay. That's the cat's name. A
it's
cat.
the cat's
A cat.
name is a cat. And then another thing I didn't understand, and well, so the thing goes, I said to the woman at the deli, I'd like to buy a ham and a cheese baguette with pickles. She said, sorry, we only take cash or card.
Because yeah, pickles aren't currency.
Yeah.
So now my
At least not in our
honey,
country.
No.
my honey said that to me, and he had to literally read it literally 3 times, and then he still had to explain it in order for me to understand it.
I can just see Tatsu looking at you,
I
just
had
like,
so much trouble with this.
come on, Taebyn, get it, get it.
Come on, what's wrong with you, Taebyn?
What
You're
is-
telling these things all the time. You can't.
Yeah.
But anyway, I felt a lot better once I finally understood it. I also felt really bad about myself. But anyway, now I got it. So anyway, those are the things I didn't understand and now understand for this week.
Well,
Excellent.
I'm glad you understand that you can't play with pickles.
now I know. Now, who would think it?
I mean, you can pay pickles. She's with the tiger. But anyway,
Yes.
let's get to the formations, shall we?
We shall.
Okay. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Everybody get your Zen pad out.
So
That's not what it's called.
So for all you furs that may not
It's called a
know,
Zapu and a Zabuton.
I've been reading some affirmations.
Mhm.
Currently, I'm reading from the Trasher Raccoon's Guide to an Amazing Life. And there's the... But that is not what you think it is.
It is a raccoon.
It is a raccoon.
Promise.
That's
It's
a raccoon.
raccoon? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
raccoons purr, just like
the-
kitties.
And the more like tonight, it sounded like it might have been a puma, like blowing bubbles through a straw into its soda pop or something. But
Okay.
It's the same clip every week, Taebyn.
I've never seen a puma drink its soda out of a straw, but okay.
Now we know what it sounds like at least.
Apparently, yes.
Apparently, yeah.
So
Maybe it must be bubble tea.
it must be Bubba Puma tea or something.
Rails have gotten off.
We have gotten off, and now we begin the next page. So there are 15 affirmations. This time we're starting the living your best life affirmations. And I'll
I could
read,
use
there's
these.
15, so I'll read the first 7.5. The first is, I am fully present in my body and life. I release the past and allow myself to move boldly into the future where no fur has ever gone.
Kapla.
Whoa, kapla.
Kapla, indeed. Good. I am moving forward into my fullest life. I have the freedom to live in the here and now. I don't know why I'd say it like that. Life is beautiful and always getting better. I forgive myself for past actions and release all guilt surrounding my choices. TikTok is getting very excitable there. And 7.5. Every decision I met. And so next time,
And then,
I'll start there. And we'll see.
Now he's
give
getting
it a
the words
laugh.
in half.
Yeah.
Those are the affirmations for this week.
okay. You know,
I
you know,
We broke him.
Why did I not even help?
Help.
I don't even know. That's stupid. I don't even. Okay. Oh.
Deep breaths, Taebyn. Deep breaths.
Okay. Hi.
Hi there.
Yes, Barely. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, do you have some red wine in your doggy bowl right now?
I don't even know what's going on in
Okay.
anything. Okay.
I think it's time to play a little this or that.
Oh my cow! This
Even the
or that.
metal.
Pat. I am
A cat.
fat.
A cat. Ooh, woo.
With a gnat on my lap? I don't know.
A gnat on your lap? Okay. Keep in mind that we started this in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
We are in season 5. It's 3001 this or that questions, and we are only up to number 291.
We've skipped a few weeks.
Well,
We've skipped a few weeks, and I was realizing that. So, all right, Taebyn, I'm going to ask you first. Would you rather be using only margarine or only butter?
this should not be a difficult. Why am I thinking way too hard about this? I'm just going to say butter because no one likes Margie Ann.
I was hoping you would say margarine, then I could say, I can't believe it's not butter.
I mean, I changed my choice to margarine.
I can't believe it's not butter, Taebyn.
Okay.
Butter is obviously better.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Especially
Yeah,
Betty's
that's
butter.
What was
And
that old
all the
commercial?
world's-
Imperial margarine?
Imperial
Mm.
butter. Yeah, but margarine.
No, it's Imperial margarine.
It's not butter.
And all the world's problems can be solved with more butter.
Yes,
More butter. That's right.
more butter.
Never fear the butter.
Don't skimp on the butter.
Please
No,
don't
life's too
fear
short.
the butter.
Just don't fear the butter man.
Okay. No one fears the butterman, as long as he's not slender. Okay, Rayne, how about you?
Yes.
Would you like to be the only non-toxic one in a toxic friend group? Oh, well, like this. Or be the toxic one in a non-toxic friend group?
I'm pretty much sure I'm the toxic one in the non-toxic friend group, but
Fair
that's
enough.
usually the case, I think.
Okay, Cheetaro,
Yes.
would you rather have friends that are bad influences or an unloving family?
Well, I already have that, so I'd rather have friends.
Which one? I have
so
both.
I'd rather have, yeah, basically. So, so to speak. No,
Okay.
but I would say the friends one for sure, because everybody wants good friends.
Well, these are bad influences, but
Well, I know,
sometimes a
but
bad
bad
influencing
bad
friend can be
influences are
fun.
the
That's
best.
true.
That's very true. They say that the more excitement you have, the better your life will be. See, so the bad influences
true.
are good.
Very
Yeah,
true.
if
very
you
true.
if you can't be a good influence, at least be a good bad example.
Absolutely.
There's, I
A
like
horrible,
that. Can I put that on a
horrible
pillow?
warning.
Can I put that on a pillow?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can have
Put that on
it.
a pillow. TikTok. Have only one good friend or 10 acquaintances?
One good friend.
Yeah,
Efficiency.
I would agree. Taebyn, I already know the answer to this because it's something you already do. Would you rather speak only in riddles or only in rhymes?
Well, if I'm going to feel fine, I guess I better take the time to speak only in rhyme so that I can then make a dime.
Dime.
And on a dime, yes, until I pine with a rutabaga.
Wine.
In kind.
Almost had it. It was that
Oh, it's
close.
so
You were that close.
So close.
Missed it by that much.
I missed it by an entire rutabaga.
Yes.
Nothing wrong
Okay.
with rutabaga.
Rayne, would you rather be amazing at one thing or okay at 10 things?
Oh, well, I know what my fiance will say. I'm really amazing at one thing, and I think that's why we're getting married. So,
Amazing. I wonder what that one thing is.
well,
Ooh.
Ooh.
you'll have to ask Ziggy.
Does it have to do with rutabaga?
Yes.
Yes.
Depends.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
Okay, good.
depends on how
So
you hold it.
Mhm.
You're good at making like a vegetable salad.
And
then.
aubergines.
That's a very good skill to
Aubergine.
have.
And eggplants.
Well, that
Okay.
is an eggplant. Aubergine is an eggplant.
Oh, that's right.
That's what they
the
call them
fancy
in
word.
England. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
CE, you earned.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Cheetaro, have a pet tiger or a pet lion?
How about we just mix the two and I can have a liger?
Okay, fair enough.
Or a tie-in.
Italian, yes.
A tie-in. That's what our sponsor is. A
tie-in.
tie-in.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Our sponsor of no one. Okay. Finally, TikTok. Would you rather only eat salty foods or sweet foods?
I like both though.
Yeah, that's a hard decision.
Maybe I'll go with salty. Yeah, salty.
Salty.
If it doesn't make you too salty.
Hopefully.
All right. And I'm going to ask Taebyn one last one.
Uh-oh. Would you rather avocado with a chipmunk or pineapple with a hinder fruit?
Oh, definitely pineapple with a hinder fruit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
be pineapple.
Duh.
And especially if it's
pineapple for
barking.
sure.
Oh, especially. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't believe I asked such an easy question.
I know.
Chipmunks are bitey. You don't want to do anything with chipmunks.
Oh, here's a good one. Would you rather be good at math but nothing else, or be good at everything else but terrible at math?
Good at math and nothing else.
There you go.
We unite. Roar.
Wait a minute.
Or something.
That sounds exactly like a pup I know.
Yeah. Yeah. See.
The only
Wow,
pup
that's
that
not
I know
true.
is
You're
actually
good at-
not good at anything. So
You're
it
good at
doesn't
math
even fit
and you're
into-
good at being a friend.
Yes.
You're good at two things.
Oh,
No.
Fluff. I cry.
Just a little. Just a little. Let's get to our media. There we go. So I've been watching a lot. I've been watching Dr. Stone, which is an anime that talks a lot about science. It's a very interesting anime. It's on Netflix. The third season just dropped today. So I'm looking forward to watching season 3 tonight. The premise is that at some point a explosion happened somewhere in the world and it turned everybody to stone.
Oh,
And one really smart guy was able to retain his consciousness, and he was counting the seconds from the time he got turned to stone until the time he woke up, which was about 1500 years later, and society has broken
That's
down.
a lot of seconds.
wow.
Yeah. And and other people kind of broke through the stone as well. And then he is a scientist. And so he starts sciencing the heck out of everything to create gunpowder and with the things he has, and making tools and making steam engines and all sorts of stuff. And it's really interesting. Plus the fact that they explain how all the science works as they're doing it, which is
That
really
does
kind of
sound
cool.
good. This sounds
Yeah.
like something
You-
I'd be
you know what?
into.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Thanksgiving because there's all those seconds.
Yes.
No thirds though.
No thirds. No. Another cartoon I've been watching is Total Drama Island. And have you heard of Total Drama Island?
I have.
thought that's
well,
where we were
I
living
think it's
right now.
AKA BFFT.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, right now series 1 and 2 are on Netflix, and season 7 is on HBO. And for some reason,
Wait, what?
so seasons 1 and 2 are
Okay.
on Netflix,
Yeah.
and season 7 is on HBO Max.
What
That
about
doesn't
3
compute
through
in this
6?
puppy brain.
Because it's a Canadian show, and
Oh.
seasons 3 through 6 are being redone for a more American taste.
Oh, I see.
Ah,
I see.
okay.
So, but the premise is it's like the Survivor show, and they have these characters and they have to do really weird things, and it's all the drama that comes on there. And their little confession booth is an outhouse, and there's all these flies buzzing around, and it's
I mean,
it's
what
hilarious.
else would it be, right?
Right? It's so much fun. I haven't laughed out loud at a cartoon
This-
in a long time.
This sounds a lot like Drawn Together.
Very much so.
Oh,
Very
okay.
much so.
I
Yeah.
would love it then because I loved Drawn Together.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. Drawn Together. You're such a good.
Such a good show. And then various other movies and things like that. I don't even remember what movies I watched because the holidays came up, which means I had a lot of downtime. So turned on a movie here and a movie there and blah, 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 blah. So
Still have to finish that Jack Black Santa Claus movie that we started over at your house at Thanksgiving.
yes. I got that far. I didn't finish that one. I did watch my annual holiday of Spirited with Ryan Reynolds and that guy.
And that guy.
And that guy. I did watch the second half of Dune last night, finally.
Oh,
Much better than the first half of Dune.
I'll have to watch it now then.
Yeah. And that's about everything I've been consuming. Rayne, how about you?
Well, I didn't have much time to do hardly any media consumption with ANW stuff, but I did have a little time to play some Capcom versus Marvel on my Steam Deck at the con, and I think I found my ideal dream team of characters to put against the Capcom characters. So I picked Rocket Raccoon, of course I have to.
Oh, yeah.
Deadpool, because again, of course, duh, I have to.
Uh,
Yeah,
And
duh, yeah.
the Hulk. I mean, the Hulk is slow, he's ponderous,
This is ponderous, man. Really
but
ponderous.
like when he
wondrous.
connects, like wow, and but he takes a beating too. So like it takes a lot to get his health even to budge a little bit. So I think that's my new dream team. I've been able to like really dominate with that one. So that's my new dream team right now.
TikTok, how about you?
Well, let's see. Some bad sailors and some bad airplanes. Jeopardy second chance rounds are going on, so it's fun to see previous contestants again. We did do our holiday viewings of Die Hard, of course.
Of
Of
course.
course.
And,
Yes.
as I mentioned, the Athro Northwest Film Festival.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you did. You got to get
Yep,
to it.
I did.
Yeah. How did it go for you? What did you think of it?
It was good. There was some, it was a little deep, but the films are really good.
I get very nervous, pup, about it, as you might imagine.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
no.
no.
Aw.
Oh,
So I'm glad it went okay. Did you get one of the little flyer program thingies that I made?
I did. I saw that you had the schedule very carefully posted in all the orders.
Gabriel said that it's like the film festival is now my baby.
Oh,
So I had some
okay.
ideas to try and make things a little bit better, and that was one of the ideas I had, was to do this little program thing. So I'm glad that went okay.
mentioning holiday movies that are action flicks, there's another movie that just came out. I did watch it. It's called Carry On, and
Hmm.
it's got Egerton in it from
Oh,
The Kingsman.
yes.
It's a current time frame movie. He's a TSA agent, and it's all about terrorism and stuff, and it takes place over Christmas. So it's another kind of one of those action blow 'em up
I want to
Christmas
watch that
movies.
Red One movie too. I haven't seen it yet either.
And there's lots and lots of paper involved because it's a terrorism movie.
Ah,
I couldn't
ah,
resist. I
Taebyn
had
only
to.
made
I
that
had
joke
to.
20 times over the last weekend.
I know, but
resistance
I
is
had
futile.
to.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to watch that movie Red One. It's
Yeah.
The Rock and I forget who else is in it, but yeah, it
Oh,
looks
I
really
saw a
good.
commercial
J.K.
about
Simmons.
that.
It's got
Yeah,
J.K.
yeah.
Simmons in it. He's
As Santa
J.K.
Claus.
Simmons. J.K. Simmons is the penultimate that guy.
He
It's,
is
it's
the
like
best, like at whatever character they put him as. I mean, he was the best J. Jonah Jameson.
Mhm,
He is the best in Portal because he
mhm.
plays Cave Johnson, the founder of Aperture Science, and like every line that he's like, as you're in Portal 2, like you're hearing all these recorded messages that he made back when he was alive,
Mhm.
playing over the loudspeakers, that are just continually still playing in this abandoned,
Hmm.
abandoned facility. And they're all hilarious. You cannot stop laughing at that long enough sometimes to play the game. In fact, I have died a couple of times because I was laughing so hard at the game. Like his lines are just the best. Like anything you put him in, he just excels at being that guy.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
he does. He does. That also reminds me when you said that guy. I also been watching or watched all of the episodes of Exploding Kittens.
Oh,
No.
I didn't know they had episodes of it. I've played
Yeah,
the game and I thought the game was hilarious.
yeah. The game they have an episode that's on Netflix as well.
Speak,
Exploding Kittens.
Speaking of
So
cats, there is also a series about cats that get high that I saw on YouTube.
okay, all
That,
right, fair
that's
enough.
pretty funny. Yeah, it's their owner ends up getting a special delivery of weed. She's an old lady, and oh my god, the
It's
weed
for
ends up
my
being
glaucoma.
yeah, the weed ends up being like it ends up being not supposed to go to her. It's experimental weed, and it ends up making the cats all sentient. And like so now the cats are trying to figure out how to stay sentient, and it's
Nice,
hilarious. Yes,
nice.
Stoner Cats is the name of it.
Chitaro, how about you?
Well, I have been watching little bits here and there, but I can't remember a lot of them. However, there are a few YouTube videos that I've been catching up on lately, and they all seem to deal with one specific pup. The aspect of him making things, like
Hmm.
making toast or making ice cubes.
Okay.
This is I've been staring a lot at these YouTube videos trying
The
to learn
burrito
how to
one
do
is the
things.
best.
Yeah, I would have
I think
to
that's number
agree.
3.
You know, but there are so many of them. I've only just started going down that rabbit hole,
It's a
but
big rabbit hole.
It
it
is.
is a big rabbit hole. But you know, for the most part, I enjoyed my my little you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 minute videos, and I think they're kind of cute, and I think any fur that is out there, they should go to YouTube and search Taebyn because he does teach you a whole lot of stuff.
He does.
Yeah.
I actually had multiple furs at ANW this time say that it's because of my math videos that they passed their calculus class or whatever. Yeah, I mean,
That's
I'll
good.
just say that. So I had multiple
Well, and
furs
just
saying that
today I
they
used one of your videos.
huh?
Just today I used one of your videos.
Oh well, hey, see,
And
It-
it's the one you aired at the film festival. I used the information that I got from one of your videos.
see,
I made toast
you
today.
made toast. That's
Yes.
Oh,
funny.
did you air that at A&W?
Yeah,
Yes, and it turned out great. Like the toast
Turned out
was
that-
perfectly brown on both sides.
I did a good job.
You did a great
Awesome.
job.
Awesome. Taebyn, what have you been consuming media-wise besides all the movies you had to review for answering
Besides
the
all
question?
the, besides those, so we finished season 3 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine today.
Good, good.
I'm still in Beastars season 3. I've been so busy. I still have 2 episodes to go, and I noted last time on the show I talked about that I still had 4 episodes left in the season. Well, apparently I've made 2 episodes in the last like 2 or 3 weeks. So I've been busy apparently. I think, did I talk it before about the show 1883?
No, but that's a good show.
It is, yeah. So, well, barely, obviously
Mhm.
that, so it's for any fur that doesn't know, 1883 is a precursor to the show Yellowstone with Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner, of course, is not in 1883 because it takes place a long time before Yellowstone.
Yes.
Really good show, really, really great. So we watched that. Great.
Have you watched
And-
Yellowstone?
And we've watched we've finished all the episodes, seasons of Yellowstone. We watched that previously. We got done with that a while ago or something.
Have you been able to watch the newest season? Because it's hard to
Oh.
find.
I did not even know there is a newest season.
Yeah.
Actually, so no.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a new season, but I think they are doing a money grab, and I think you have to pay for it.
Oh, maybe that's why I
Which
haven't
just,
heard of it.
yeah. But they are doing
Yeah.
a spin-off with Rip and Beth.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're going to continue Rip and Beth's story on a new series.
That's fun. That'll be interesting then.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Actually.
Because, like she said, she's the tornado and you are the trailer park.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So let's just
One
start a
of
new series with
those.
that.
Oh,
Nice,
yeah.
that's good.
Oh, she's the one character you love to hate.
Hmm.
So there's this series on Amazon. It's an Amazon original called Reacher, and it's not Tom
Yes,
Cruise.
great.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
because
you've seen
this
it.
the Amazon Reacher actually looks like the Reacher from the books. If you ever read any of the Jack Reacher books,
Oh,
Tom
check it out.
Cruise looks nothing like Jack Reacher is described in the books. He is short, skinny, and not at all what's described in the books.
Oh.
The guy that they got playing him on the Amazon series really fits the bill. He looks like the character is supposed to look according to the description in the books.
Good.
So I guess I don't have to
Yes.
tell any further that it's really good. We've
So
only
good.
seen like I don't know, 3 episodes or something, but
Yeah.
it's really good.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to continuing watching that. We started. Have you heard of a movie called Hot Frosty?
No.
No.
Well, we started watching this movie called Hot Frosty,
Yay.
and then we stopped.
Oh, that
or
good, huh?
maybe I don't know.
About 10
Did
minutes
Frosty
later.
melt?
No, well, we got to the point where Hot Frosty comes to life, and we tried for a few minutes, and then we stopped. So
He wasn't that hot.
it wasn't very good. Nope.
Sounds like one of those rated above R17.
It was rated
Bad.
dumb. Yeah, bad. It was that's exactly what.
It's
It was
rated,
rated
B for
D
bad.
for duh.
Duh. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
So that's what we've been watching. The whole Kyle Gold Green Fury thing. I have not finished that yet. Maybe someday. I've been playing. I still haven't been playing Infinito 2 because I still can't get it working. Loon
I gotta fix
6,
that for
Royal
you.
Match, Beat Saber, and that's my media for that I've been doing.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, now it's time to hear from our intrepid news reporter, TickTock, for the furry news.
Boop.
Da, da, da.
That's that's the sound, I guess.
So, with the holidays, it's been a little slow news-wise, but I was able to find one scoop for you furs.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah, there will be a film about two furries featured at Sundance Film Festival, no less.
Wow.
And yep, it will be available for viewing at the festival, of course, but also online from January 30th to February 2nd. Its title is The Reality of Hope. It's a short documentary. It features two furries who met and became friends in the virtual reality community of Furality, and one who goes by. Hmm?
I know about Furality. That's exciting.
Indeed, yes, it's very exciting. So, one who goes by Photograph Otter lives in New York City, and the other, Hayu, lives in Stockholm. But although in his 20s, Hayu has end stage kidney failure and must receive almost constant dialysis. And as it turns out, Photograph Otter is a suitable donor match and travels
Wow.
to Stockholm to be a live donor. So an excerpt from the director, whose name is Joe Hunting. Overall, the film portrays its unique story through a very documentary form that considers the cinematic truth between VR and reality. Audiences will leave this documentary feeling hopeful and encouraged to recognize the contemporary ways we can support one another, whilst gaining enlightenment about an impactful internet subculture.
Nice. Is this a
Yeah.
true
Very
story?
nice.
Yes, no, it is. It's a true story.
Nice.
The film is a combination, I believe, is a combination of VR, animation, and live action.
Very nice. I have to take a look at
Okay.
that.
Sounds interesting. I wonder if it'll be available anywhere else other than the Cannes Film Festival
No, Sundance.
or Sundance.
Sundance. Well, as I said, it will be online from January 30th to February 2nd.
Then I'm sure it'll probably eventually be released to the general public at large.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I don't know. we will
I'm
find
sure
out.
eventually it will be. A lot of those get released after the film festival awards go out and everything like that.
Well, and if you have the Sundance app, they always put all the film festival films on the Sundance app. So,
Okay.
so there you go.
Speaking of films, this is a great segue to Chitaro's movie review. Chitaro, what do you got to review for us this fine week?
Well, this week it is another one of those blast from the past movies. The Land Before Time.
Oh my god, I loved this movie.
Yeah, I saw this movie long ago,
Mhm.
and I will say, I actually saw it in the theater when it came out. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, I
But
cried so hard.
but comparatively speaking to, if you look at the movie today, it's a little grainy,
Mhm.
but that's only because of the fact that it was actually hand drawn
Yeah, and it
as
was shot
opposed
on
to
film.
yeah.
It's not digital at all. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What I also did not remember is that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg collaborated as
Mhm.
co-executive producers on this
Yes.
movie. So it's kind of ironic that you have two gigantic icons
Mhm.
being together for producing a movie, so to speak.
Yeah.
But this one's on Prime Video. It's kind of the interesting part about the Land Before Time series is there are, I think I counted 7 movies in total,
Yes.
that they have. They even have a Halloween special.
Oh
Um,
wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, but it's a really good movie. It's it's kind of dark. And I
Mhm.
don't mean that in the regards of colorization. I mean that in the regards that in the very beginning when you see the dinosaurs, when Littlefoot decides, who is the main character, decides that he wants to try to play with a different dinosaur. Um, they're basically going, well, you can't play with this one because long necks don't play with three horns,
Right.
and I'm thinking to myself, wow, it's semi-racist to a small degree, or
Yes.
speciest in this case,
Yeah.
actually. And so I went through the movie and saw it, and it's like, okay, well, that was only the beginning. It was really awesome because they do end up becoming friends. They end up traveling to the quote unquote promised land, so to speak. But for the most part, I got a vibe from this movie that was very Bambi-esque,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is kind of weird to a small degree because there's no other animals in it except for dinosaurs,
Yeah. So
you
it's
know?
no mammals, all reptiles.
Although I do have to say, with all of the new information about that dinosaurs had feathers, the aspect of these not having feathers was kind of a little off. But as long as you take the disbelief of the fact that this was done back in the 80s when nobody understood about those things, it's a really awesome movie.
Oh yeah, and the animation is beautiful. I mean,
Oh
like you
yeah.
said, it's all hand-drawn stuff, and it's just the story is really touching.
It's very sad. Specifically, I will say I teared up when Littlefoot's mom passed, hence the Bambi vibe, so to speak, also. But for the most part, it was a fun movie. There were some happy parts in it as well. What I thought was interesting was, as much as I don't normally talk about this in terms of movies, but it was only a 66-minute film.
Yep.
And basically, if you take into consideration that there was almost 5 minutes of credits at the end,
Yeah.
it's only a 1 hour, less than 1 hour of actual movie.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty impressive because it totally gets its thoughts across,
Yeah.
and things of that nature. And it was a really good feel good movie. In terms of my ratings, I would give it a 4 chirps,
Nice.
because when I look at movies from days of old, I kind of put myself, well, because I was there
Mhm.
in the days of old, and
As
say,
we're
how
gray
would I?
muzzes.
Yeah, or silver, depending upon how you want to look at it. But I look at that and say, if I was in 1988, I would definitely rate this, four
Yeah.
chirps
Oh,
because
I
it,
watched
it
the
was an
heck out of
awesome
this
movie.
movie when I was a kid.
This movie is worth watching. So all you furs out there who want to see a really nice feel good movie, and maybe cry a little, maybe laugh a little, go see The Land Before Time. It's free on Prime Video if you have it. Go out there and watch it. You guys will enjoy it. Until next time.
Until next time on BFFT. Dun, dun, dun.
We'll have a
Okay.
last time on BFFT.
Yes, and I'll have it next time on BFFT. Okay, let's take a look at some upcoming events for the next month.
Upcoming events.
Anthro Expo 2025 is coming January 30th through February 2nd in Norman, Oklahoma. In Seaside, Oregon, of course, this February 6th through the 9th is Get Out the Float. ScotiaCon is coming out February 7th through the 10th.
It's just ScotiaCon.
Just a ScotiaCon, and that's going to be in Glasgow, UK. Nordic Nordic FuzzCon is coming up in Malmö, Sweden, February 19th through 23rd. The 20th through the 23rd of February is Fur Squared in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Santiago, Chile is hosting Santiago Anthrofest 2025, the February 21 through 23rd. GdanskCon is coming up in Gdansk, Poland, February 26th through March 2nd. And February 28th through March 2nd, also in Austin, Texas, is the Lone Star FurCon. And those are the upcoming events for the next month. And I believe all of us are going to be at Get Out the Float. So come and see us and hug us and have a lot of fun there. Taebyn.
All the hugs.
Hi.
Hi there. Do you have a story for us this week at all?
I do. My story this week is one Rayne knows very well.
Oh, is this the kissing hand?
This is called the kissing hand.
Oh, my honey read this to me on my
I
birthday.
know. On the cover, there's a mommy raccoon kissing the hand of the little baby raccoon. Chester Raccoon stood at the edge of the forest and cried. I don't want to go to school, he told his mother. I want to stay home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing. Please, may I stay home with you? Mrs. Raccoon took Chester by the hand and nuzzled him on the ear. Sometimes we all have to do things we don't want to do, she told him gently, even if they seem strange and scary at first. But you will love school once you start. You'll make new friends and play with new toys. You'll read new books and swing on new swings. Besides, she added, I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights at school seem as warm and cozy as your days at home. Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. A secret? What kind of secret? A very old secret, said Mrs. Raccoon. I learned it from my mother, she said. And she learned it from hers. It's called the kissing hand. The kissing hand? Asked Chester. What's that? I'll show you. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Chester right in the middle of his palm. Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand up his arm and into his heart. Even his silky black mask tingled with a special warmth. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. Now, she told Chester, whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. And that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with toasty, warm thoughts. She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss. Now, do be careful not to lose it, she teased him. But don't worry, when you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will stick. Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him wherever he went, even to school. That night, Chester stood in front of his school and looked thoughtful. Suddenly, he turned to his mother and grinned. Give me your hand, he told her. Chester took his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan. Next, he leaned forward and kissed the center of her hand. Now you have a kissing hand too, he told her, and with a gentle goodbye and I love you, Chester turned and danced away. Mrs. Raccoon watched Chester scamper across a tree limb and enter school. And as the hoot owl rang in the new school year, she pressed her left hand on her cheek and smiled. The warmth of Chester's kiss filled her heart with special words. Chester loves you, it sang. Chester loves you. And that is the end of the kissing hand.
Oh, that's such a sweet story.
It is a
Yeah.
sweet story.
That's a sweet
My honey
story.
get
I need
get
to
the
read
best
it
It fills
every
my
time.
hearts with kisses.
It does.
There's not going to be a dry eye in the house if you read that at a
No.
con.
No.
Can't wait for it. It's very similar to whenever I do my Taebyn Sings Weird Al. There's never a
Oh gosh.
dry eye
Yeah,
because
nobody
they're
can stop
all like
crying.
really unhappy with how unfortunate my singing is, and
Well, it's
they're
probably
like,
because
"Taebyn,
we
just
lock
shut
the
up." So,
doors when we get them in there.
yes, I mean, yeah, there is that.
All right. Well, that brings us up to our shameless plugs. There are 3 other podcasts on this network. Of course, Off Leash podcast, where we talk about human puppy play. Royal Highness podcast, where 2 friends who have never seen the Game of Thrones series get high and watch and then talk about it while they're still high. And they are now taking on season 2 of House of the Dragon, starting next week. The episode that comes out this week is a clip show known as Box of the Dragons. So,
Take on season 2.
yes. Yes, and don't mix up the names Egon, Eric,
Oh my-
Eric, and
Oh my gosh, your sister
Vladimir.
cannot get any of those names straight. She makes up names, and like half the time
Uh-huh.
it's like Is that a real person?
Like
Spencer doesn't know half the time if she's talking about a real like named person in the show or not.
yes, indeed.
It's
Yes.
hilarious.
When
That
did
is one of the best shows.
Hezariasis come on the show? I don't know.
Probably season 2, I'm sure.
Probably.
So, and then of course the final episode or the final podcast on our network is 3 to Who, which Rayne will now, I'm sure, mention.
Yes. So 3 to Who is the monthly Doctor Who podcast where we talk about all things Doctor Who. Me, myself, James, and Mike, of course, who aka Barely Normal. We all talk about things we love about Doctor Who.
And hate about Doctor Who sometimes.
And hate about Doctor Who sometimes. Yes, that is very true. So this month we talked about last month's Christmas special, Joy to the World.
Special.
Especial.
Especial, yes.
Especial Carnotes.
But it was a fun discussion. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best Christmas special that Doctor Who has put out, but it was a Christmas special, and
that could be
It
said.
was a Christmas special.
Yes, it was.
It was a Christmas special. That's
That is
about
a
all we can say
raving
about it.
review. Oh, so Rayne, how was it? It was a Christmas
It was
special.
a special
Question mark?
Christmas special, yes. And next month we're planning to talk about a character who's very ambiguous. We don't know if he's a hero, a villain, a madman, or the architect of the entire Gallifreyan society. So we're gonna
Oh, so that would be K9.
No, we've already talked about K9.
Okay.
We're actually going to talk about Rassilon on next month's series.
Ooh, Rassilon.
Yes.
TikTok, how about you?
Just the bathtub because you want to take a bath and the water. Okay, that
Yes.
was.
The water drains out if you don't.
Oh, God.
I put up with this all
Anywho.
weekend. TikTok all weekend.
All weekend. Anywho, looks like I'm going to FC, Further Confusion, so come on by and get some big fluffy hugs from
When
me.
did you win the lottery?
Literally, right? I mean,
It kind of fell into his lap, I heard.
Yes, it did.
Wow.
One of my friends
What was his
who
name?
drags me kicking and screaming to Con said, "Hey, TikTok, we got an open room. Want to join us?" I said, "Okay."
Oh,
So yeah,
It's
so
about the only way anybody can go is
right.
Pretty much.
right.
If you manage to get a room and have that that kind of
Like-
pull.
17 people in a room.
Yes.
It's the only way you can go.
Talk about a room party.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, let's see. And then, of course, there'll be a Get Out the Float, so come get some fluffy hugs there, and I'll be doing my fursuiting panel again.
Yay.
And you're doing the doodles, right? Doodles for charity?
Yes, and doodles.
Cheetaro, how about you? Anything to plug?
Of course, Get Out the Float. I will be there in my charity stuff, doing that stuff at Get Out the Float and my, and stuff. But
stuff.
of course, the other thing I'm going to start to plug now is also another furry convention that's local to Portland called Furlandia, because I've been
That's right, that's
starting
coming
to
up.
deal with the Dealer's Den as business lead. You get to have all sorts of fun with that. But we have lots of attendance that we're expecting, and so if you haven't started to register for Furlandia, all you furs out there,
That's right. That's
go
open.
to
Yeah.
furlandia.org and go register.
And it's growing exponentially. I can't believe how much.
I have my
Furlandia is
Yeah.
hotel room for it. I haven't
Yay.
registered, but I have my
Yay.
hotel
Yay.
room, so I'll be there.
I
Well,
have nothing
that's a
yet,
good thing.
but I'll get it done.
Well, I know we maxed out the hotel last year, but we have to stay there this year because of lots of different reasons. But we are looking for a new venue for all those furs that are curious. Furlandia, that's my next big thing, and that's kind of what I've been working on for my shameless plugs. So there we are.
All right. Taebyn, how about you?
Well, as I say, I have a link tree. That's linktr.ee/Taebyn, Taebyn. So you can get a link to all my things, including my fourth wall, where you can get some Taebyn merch. I have a t-shirt there, I have a mug, I have stickers, more to come. I know you keep saying that, but it's true, it will. I just have to actually do it. And there's, you can go to my YouTube where, as some particular cheetah just not too long ago said, there's a whole bunch of amazing, wonderful videos, some of which can actually literally help you pass calculus classes, because I've had lots of people actually tell me it's because of my math videos that they were able to pass their calculus exam or their class or differential equations at ANW. I was just told that someone that was trying to get their engineering degree had to pass differential equations to get their degree. It was because of my Laplace transforms vid that they were actually able to pass that class. So definitely do that.
And
yeah,
the puppy
I mean,
is telling the truth because I was there when they said
you
that.
were there. It's true, and so it's really so awesome to keep hearing that my videos are actually educating and actually helping other furs. But of course, there's other things like, you know, as mentioned before, you can learn how to make ice, how to make toast, product reviews. Of course, the crispy chicken saga is up there. There's more coming out that we just need to edit and talk about and things, but some more videos are coming up, and there's lots of good stuff. I remember, speaking of Furlandia, I think it was Furlandia last year, that I was just wandering around in the dealer's den, and some little fur comes up to me and says, "Oh, wait, you're Taebyn, aren't you?" Like, yeah, and they're like, I just last weekend binged every single one of your YouTube videos. Like, they watched every single one.
Wow, that's a long time.
That was a lot. So, but that was very cool. But I was always like, "Are you okay? Like, do you need to go to the hospital right now, or everything's on the
Should we call a
Psychiatrist.
mental health professional for you?
I mean, there's several different things that could have been going on there, and I want to make sure everything's okay. Anyway, so lots of good stuff there. And of course, as we keep mentioning, my next con, I'll be at Get Out the Float next month. Make sure. And then Vancouver in March, doing my story time with Taebyn and Taebyn Sings Weird Al, where I have 4 new songs in the rotation that I did at ANW, which went really well. So come join the fun. Lots of fun things around all this stuff. So can't wait to hear if you've done all that stuff.
All right.
Or maybe they'll see it and they'll be like, "I don't think I want to admit I've done this stuff." So they run the other way.
Well, it looks like another weird episode is in the can. Hard to believe we're in the year 2025. And of course, no one knows what the future is going to hold this year. So please be kind to yourselves. Be happy with yourselves. If you find yourself getting overwhelmed, take a moment, take a pause, take a hit, whatever you need to do to get through the next several years.
Listen to some more BFFT, watch some Taebyn videos. That's how you're going to get through the next several years.
Absolutely. We know you have a
Avoid
choice.
reality at all costs.
Theratail is going to have a lot of people buying them this year.
I used Theratail this weekend.
You did, yes. Rayne
Yes.
actually experienced and found out that actually their tail works. So
It does work.
Theratail. We know you have a choice in podcasts, and we love that you choose to listen to ours. So on behalf of myself and our staff and all the folks at Injured Nerves Podcast Network, we say Moobarkfluff and stay furry. Cheetaro, any final words?
Just make sure that everybody has a good time and laugh, because at this point, that's all we have because of all the things that are coming to our future. So laugh, and everyone will laugh with you.
That's true. And maybe we can laugh at a certain person. TickTock, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, just be kind to your fellow furs and stay fluffy.
All right. Rayne, how about you?
Well, as I always say, be kind to yourself and each other. Ziggy, I love you so much. I'm hoping that this year brings us closer. And Moobarkfluff, stay furry, everyone.
oh, and just for a few seconds, tell all our the staff and all our furs out there what your wonderful Ziggy did for you at ANW.
Gosh, he bought me alcohol.
Okay.
He sent me a bottle of Chilean. It's kind of like a brandy. It's called Pisco. It's very good. It's very strong. He's also sent me cider and a 2-liter bottle of Coke, and also an entire big meal of Argentinian food, and it was just fantastic.
He sent pictures. It was like total food coma just looking at it.
There was so much food. I ate like a third of it that night and then had some more of it for breakfast on Sunday morning.
Did he ship it to you or have it delivered from
No, he had it delivered. So apparently one of the girls he works with has relatives in Seattle that work at this restaurant, and they sent it to me, and yeah, it was fantastic.
Very cool.
Really good.
Very cool. And last but certainly not least, Taebyn, take us out of here so we can all go get a poof.
Well, that sounded like what? Did that sound like? Welcome
Sounded
to
like you were in
the
the well.
4x4 meetup match of the mud all over the place because we're going to drive our trucks or something. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But what I am talking about is, as I say, but really always mean, thank you so much, everyfur, for listening and hanging out with us for the last hour and a half or so. We've had a great time. We hope you've had a great time. Entertaining. Did everyfur have a good time tonight?
We had a great time.
Yeah. Woo! So great. So we hope you really enjoy this show, and we love doing it for you. Can't wait to, do more of these things and bark at you and, see you at cons and do all the good stuff. Make sure to watch our videos and all the good stuff that makes the fluff fly or whatever is going on. I don't know. So I will just say thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful night or evening or morning or whatever time of day it is for you right now. And we will bark at you next time. So until then, Moobarkfluff, stay furry, bark, bark.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerve studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The Furcast is produced, recorded, and directed by Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by Barely and our associate producer Rayne Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by Reg Day with Damian Tanuki. If you would like to hear more music by Reg Day, you can search for Tweezerbeak on Bandcamp or Hoop Loop Tunes on SoundCloud. Other interstitial and background music through silvermansound.com, Gator Tots on SoundCloud.com, the YouTube Free Use Library, and Epidemic Sound. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com or on our Telegram chat at BFFT chat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at coffee.com/barelyfurcasting or through Patreon at patreon.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening.